Hello and welcome. I am the Sterling and today we are playing Anno 1800. So sit back, grab a cold one and let's get started. We begin today's episode here in New Cairns. The plan is we're going to finally start a major project. We're going to start working towards building a dam right here. There are 3 phases to building the dam. To be able to start phase 1, I'm going to need 4,000 artistas. I'll also need 60 timber, 90 bricks, a workforce of 600, and it will take 30 minutes. We do not have the requirements yet, so that's what we're going to start working towards. So here on New Cairns, they're lacking fried plantains, so we need to fix that problem. And we have a newspaper. Siege is successful, Juicy Island acquired, financial powerhouse. Another good looking newspaper, we'll publish that. They're lacking plantains here in New Cairns, among other things, so we're going to take care of that. And there we go, done. Now that should fix our plantain problem. In the last episode, we finally built Port Arthur. And in the past episodes, we've built up Norton Bay. And now we have a significant workforce to come and work here in Sutherland. We have over 1,000 farmers, we have over 1,000 workers, and we have over 1,000 artisans, all in the excess. This is awesome. So let's start building up Sassenberg and Sutherland. And there we go. A nice big chunk of homes has just been built. I've slowly been upgrading some more residences to engineers. Now I'm just going to keep my eye on their requirements and make sure that everything's on the up and up. And if they start lacking in anything, I can confidently build it in Sutherland, knowing that I've got the workforce to cover it. I've noticed that we run out of electricity often. I don't think we're getting oil to our oil power plants fast enough. So I'm going to have to go through and have a little bit of a gander and work out why it is that we're not getting the required amount of oil fast enough. Maybe it's just a train line issue. There you go, just a reminder that this war with the Tur is still going on. So as you saw, I moved the large oil harbour down here onto the south side of the island. I've also doubled up the train line running on the east side of the city. Hopefully now, this speeds up the delivery of oil to our oil power plants. So one of the happiness needs the engineers have is a bank. So we're going to put that in right here. Done. It adds a little something to the area, doesn't it? It really makes the area look very grand. So our engineers are now ready to go up a level. So do I dare? I think I do. We'll do this little section here first.
You reached a new milestone.
There we go, we've hit a new milestone. Age of big business.
Once built, your court of justice shall inaugurate a new era of peace and prosperity for Empire.
We now also have an embassy available, which is fantastic. We'll have to build that soon. The investors have a new bunch of needs. Their first one being champagne. So I'm going to have to take care of that right away. So here on Sutherland, we're going to start producing champagne. To produce champagne, we need the champagne cellar, which will produce the champagne itself. We'll need vineyards to produce grapes. We're going to need glass makers to produce glass for the bottles. And finally, we need sand mines to create the glass. So for when Sassenberg is at its peak, we're going to need 3 champagne cellars, 3 more glass makers, 10 vineyards, and 3 sand mines. So let's start laying that down now. So that's the 3 champagne cellars. So that's the glass makers now down. I'm running low on resources, so when the resources start building back up, I can then create them, but the blueprints are down. And so now I'll put down the 24 vineyards. I'm thinking up here would be a good place to put the vineyards. So I'll clean up the roads a bit and I can get started on it. And there we go. That's all current and future champagne production down, including all 24 vineyards. Now I'll just have to let our resources here on Suddenly build up, because I've been building on other islands as well. So the resources have been dropping on the other islands, and this is the main island that supplies the rest. And so my resources are in the negative on a regular basis over here, which is slowing down upgrading and building up Suddenly. But once everything catches up and levels out, the resources here will stop getting nabbed by the ships, and then I can start building some stuff over here. So I've been quite busy over here on Sassenberg. Have a look at that. I've built up one side of our city. I've still got to continue going through upgrading them, but it's coming along now. I'm still just continuing to upgrade the buildings in Sassenberg, but I'm having a few issues. The main one being I keep running out of fur. Because in the higher tiers, we're not going to rely so much on fur, because it is not one of their needs, as you can see. But getting such a large city through the stage of having fur without the need for building excess amount of fur that I'll have to destroy later is a bit of a juggle of turning the fur on and off. So that's what I'm in the process of doing at the moment, which is fine. It gives my lack of resources a chance to catch up. There you go. Another row that won't be needing fur. We'll do this side as well. And there we go. Now we'll just let our resources build back up, and I'll have another crack at it again.
Your summer garden.
We're under attack here at Port Arthur, so we're sending our ships down here to attack. We'll be alright. We've got plenty of time, and then we'll give them a good ass kicking. Here we go, we're chasing off his ships. There you go, there's one. Now we'll go get the other one. And that will solve our problems. Let's go get him. Going up. Soaring skyscrapers and cloud-shrouded towers, elevators and iron frames set the skyline of tomorrow. Fantastic, we can now build skyscrapers. This is great. So slowly going through, this is starting to look very healthy now. And it's just a matter of trying to remember what tiers each section will be. Because sooner or later I've got to go through and delete things like the fire stations and stuff like that. Because as we get higher into the tiers, there's certain buildings that will no longer be needed. And that way I can then replace them with homes and things like that. Let's see what else I can upgrade. So I know these three here I know these three here need to be engineers. That needs to be engineers. And then these all on the outsides. These on the outsides are artisans. So these here will need to be upgraded once their furs are up.
It looks not over forest.
I think that's starting to look very nice, don't you? These need to be upgraded. And these. And yes, they will need to be upgraded. Now I'll turn the fur off here on the engineers. There you go. So now all the engineers' furs are paused. That way I can concentrate giving the artisans fur. So I can upgrade the last lot of artisans I need to. And then that will be fantastic. Then I can sit back and slowly watch as this place implodes, because I just don't produce enough goods on Southernly. And then I'll head over there, panic because I don't have enough resources to build anything, and desperately start trying to build things over there.
Investors enjoy the fruits of my labor, but I wonder if they know much of the tree.
And then, once I do all that, I'll have to come over here and do it all over again. Yay! Nah, it'll be worth it when I'm finished, I promise. And then after I finish doing this, we can start thinking about bigger and better things, such as zoos and going on expeditions and all that sort of stuff. There is so much more to do. This game is such a large game. It's fantastic. Once again, just going through all these islands. He's bought back a few of his shares, so I'm running about just buying them all back. There you go, that's the last one.
Into a monstrosity.
Ah, fantastic. Newspaper. Yeah, we lost an island in the New World, which is not a problem. It was one of Arthur's dodgy little islands. We're just waiting to take it straight back. But we can't have it ruin our perfectly good.
A clown and joined the circus. But when the balloon burst, my report was far too colourful to publish.
But we can't let it ruin our newspaper. So let's edit that. And we'll chuck that in.
Them's the word.
Perfect. We'll be able to take back this island in 11 minutes.
My impression of you is unfavorable.
Back here in Sassenberg, upgrading some more buildings. Here we go. I can only do a couple, but that's still good. Perfect. I just got to sit back and wait for some more wood, and then I can build the rest. One of his battleships has come over here to Port Arthur in Cape Tuani. We were waiting for him with a few of our own. We're just going to give him a bit of a flogging. Our economies are definitely leveling out. Have a look at that. 47 to 48. He's still got the superior military force, but our economies, not long now. And if he keeps just throwing his ships at mine the way he is, having them destroyed, his military force ain't going to be better than mine for much longer. Fantastic. I'm doing the hard thing of destroying all the pubs. It's a sad day. It's a very sad day, but we just don't need them anymore. And so we're just going to say goodbye to the pubs. A tear rolls down my eye. Well, will you have a look at that? We are on 114,000 coins a minute. That is crazy money. Ah, that is fantastic. Look at it. Yeah, that's right. The sterling's got money. Oh yeah. Just finishing up now, as you can see. The last few buildings are just getting upgraded. And I think that's everything. Whoop, no, just one building over here left. Why are you being difficult? Huh? Why can't you just conform like everybody else? I was so excited to be done with this section. You've let me down. And I missed this entire section here. Never mind. Just gonna sit here and play the waiting game even further.
Ship under attack.
There we go. Back to taking back this island. Fantastic.
Forget art. I want my damn island back.
There we go. So we've taken our island back. So it's
Enemy's resistance is crumbling.
just a poxy little island, but you never know. I might need it for resources later on. It does have gold on it. Furthermore, it just stops Artur being able to quickly conquer any of our islands. So these ships can go and take out this man of war that he's left, this first ship of the line. And this ship of ours needs to come home and be repaired. Couple more buildings to upgrade. There we go. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Nope. So what it is we got our little L's, a reverse little L, vice versa on this side. Then we've got our triangle that comes out, our little diamond shape. Beautiful. And now in these spaces here and here, all these little spaces that are open now, that's where I've deleted things that we no longer need. And so I'll be putting buildings in there over time. I'll be putting residence homes in there over time. And here we go, our last few buildings. Done. Half of Sassenberg's population is now complete. That is awesome. Look at that. Now I'm going to have to head over suddenly and start upgrading a few buildings and getting things up and running over there. Okay, so I've been very, very busy, as you can see. I've completely upgraded and built everything we're going to need for Sassenberg up into the engineering tier. And we have a massive issue. We do not have enough workforce, basically across all different tiers. We're going to need an entire new island just for the low end of workers and farmers, and we're going to desperately need to start upgrading Sassenberg. Luckily for the moment, 50% of these buildings aren't needed. So I'm running in excess at the moment, and I can now go through and shut off half of the buildings. But I just wanted to see how bad this is going to be. And honestly, it's actually not as bad as I thought it'd be. I really thought that I was going to need another massive island. I could almost squeeze more homes onto the islands that I have. I could even have room to build on Southerly once again. I don't think I will because I haven't built for the investors tier yet, so there is still more things to come. But this is not as bad as I thought, which that is good news. So I think for the moment our first step should be start and upgrade the other side of Sassenberg. So we'll see what I can upgrade over here. I think maybe a handful. And we'll have to upgrade the market. If I can find it, there you go.
Honestly,
That should set them for the minute. And we can start building out this side now. But have a look. That is shocking, isn't it? All that red. So I better not leave it like that or else things are going to get bad very quick. So I better head over there and painstakingly go through and work out what I need and don't need for the minute. Now, after going through subtly and pausing different things, I've got our workforce back in order. But we have learnt something very valuable here. So we either need another island for our farmers and our workforce, or we need to start pushing the population out on Port Arthur. Now, having a look at Port Arthur, we've basically barely touched 1/3 of this island, unlike Norton Bay, which is chock-a-block. So we are going to start building out on Port Arthur. And it's all just to build out Sassenberg. But my word, is it worth it? Have a look at that. That looks so good. I really can't wait. I can just see it now. The city stretching out into the distance. A palace up the top. The museum. The zoo. It's going to look fantastic when we're finished. Sadly, we're also running out of oil here on Southerly, which is not good. So I will need to start finding another place to get oil. Once again, luckily, it will be Port Arthur to the rescue, as Port Arthur has the potential to have 7 oil fields built on it, which is good. I'll mine the oil here at Port Arthur, and I'll ship it off to Southerly.
Attention for the Admiral.
I better just go take care of this ship in the New World. I've been neglecting my other empires in the pursuit to build up Sassenberg and Southerly, and I forgot that, yes, that there's a whole war going on in the background that I've been ignoring. Occasionally he's just been popping up terrorising me, but nothing I can't handle. And sadly, once again, New Cairns got neglected. Did not touch New Cairns at all this time. But that's fine, we know what we're going to be doing here. We're aiming to build the dam. But I don't see that happening anytime soon, sadly. My attention is needed elsewhere, Sassenberg. This can be an afterthought. Even though it will look grand having a massive dam there, I don't think it will even compete.
To strive for everyone's freedom.
I don't think it can even compete with how grand Sassenberg's going to look. So sadly, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.